preparing the live stream.
Mm.
Ooh, got my
Okay, there we go.
pregame sweat going, Mikey P.
Oh boy.
But you know, Mike Dog, when the pressure's on. Hey, Darius, by the way, glad you made it. I still got to close some stuff. We're live right now, Darius. Got to put my security blankets on. Hey, Mikey, am I lined up on the?
Yes, you are.
I don't know if he has the microphone on or not.
All right. Well,
I like how you even got the collared shirt going on.
Oh,
there you
Mikey. When we do this presentation later, I'm wearing a tie, Mikey. I'm going all out for that. Hey, Darius, how you doing, man? Good to meet you. Are you with us yet, Day?
He's working. It looks like he's working on the audio part.
That's cool. I still got a window I need to close. Let me close that. All right, cool.
My camera did funny things and it's not working today, so I don't know what the deal is. So I just got a picture of me up there sprinting.
At least someone's sprinting, right?
Yep.
God forbid you not show off all your greatness, Mikey. Well, I meant to do this before we went live. It's 5 o'clock now, so I hope Darius comes with us because whoever's tuned in yet, we're not officially, even though we're live, we haven't officially started the show yet. Let me mute my phone because there's always a chance I might get one message or one call. It's doubtful, but still, mute my phone. I'll give you guys, while we wait for Darius to get on mic, just kind of a loose outline. I'll introduce you guys. I'm going to go Mike, Darius, and Daniel, and that'll just kind of be brief. And then since they're new, Mikey, I'll stay on Daniel, kind of get his backstory, and then I'll go back to Darius, get his backstory if he ever gets his mic on. Then I'll talk to you. We don't need to. You've been on the show before. You're a Hall of Famer. Everybody knows you. But I'll chat with you a bit. Then we'll talk Blackhawks, and then we'll talk the All-Star Weekend and wrap it up. Cool. All right. You with us, D?
I think I'm with us.
Oh, good man. Dude. Good to meet you, man. Good to meet you. We're live right now, and I'm going to fire up the show. So let's do it, fellas.
All right.
Yeah. Sacramento's old beer dogs, baby. Hello, Beep Baseball World. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Beepball Blues Show. I am Neil, DAWG, your 5-time world champion, 2000 offensive MVP, and it's just me. Bam Bam's not here to take away any of my spotlight. Many of you that know Bam Bam probably think that he has stayed home just to watch the Cowboys game, but that in fact is not true. He is at his daughter's soccer game. Miss Landry is playing injured because in her tackle football game yesterday, a little boy took a cheap shot at her knee, and she's playing through it in her soccer game tonight. So shout out to my niece Landry. Bam Bam will be back with us next week. We've got a very nice trio of all-stars that have joined us for this live episode, starting with Hall of Famer, health genius, and my brother, Mike Finn. What's happening, Mikey? Welcome back.
Thank you. Very nice to be here.
I was talking to you guys before we started the live stream that this is episode now 103, maybe 104. I think it's right in that range. And Mikey was episode guest number 2. And really, I did the first episode by myself, not planned, but that's how little I knew about technology. And so I did the first episode by myself. So Mikey was technically my first guest. So welcome back finally, Mike.
Awesome. Always have to be here.
You glad to be famous enough to get on finally 100 episodes later?
Oh, yeah. Cool. Wonder if I'll get on again before 100 or before 200.
I just hope there is a 200. We also have with us from the Austin Blackhawks, all members from the Blackhawks, with another all-star, Mr. Darius Sterling, or as he likes to be preferred in the business, Mr. Day. Sterling, what's happening, Day? How are you?
I'm doing good. Enjoying the Sunday.
Appreciate you joining up. I'm hoping if you listened to the last episode of this show, I probably owe you an apology. If you didn't, I'll just skip over it. I don't skip over anything. I ramble about everything I can because I'm Neil Dog. We did like Richie Flores was with us, so Bam Bam and Richie and I did like a little fantasy draft of the players that are going to be participating in the All-Star Weekend.
Mhm.
And I don't know why, because I've never thought of you as this. I've never called you this before. All of a sudden, I was referring to you as Day Day. I never said Day Sterling. I'll tell you, Day Day off the board. So I was like, man, now I'm going to reach out to this dude, ask him to come on the show. It's going to tell me to kiss his ass.
So that's
glad
funny
you did
because
not.
That's my actual nickname is Day Day. I just for Facebook
All
I
right.
just took one of the days
look
off.
at that.
So you got it.
I don't know why I ever doubt my greatness. I apologize to everybody else for that. I should never doubt my greatness. But the person I did have to owe big old apology, and he still managed to come on the show, is Daniel Brock. I was out there, Daniel, spreading rumors about you that weren't true, and you still managed to come on the show with me. So I appreciate that.
I appreciate y'all having me on the show.
I got to talk to you a little bit during the All-Star selection presentation because you were a member of that, but this first time having you on our show. Hopefully you'll find funny story about that after, because it was DB that was pulling in all the guests for that. And, and that was just a few weeks after my little fiasco with your bad information involving you. And DB reaches out later after the show. It's like, I just wanted to point out that I was able to get Daniel Brock to come on. I'm just showing you my reach a little bit. I was like, man, look, I don't doubt DB's reach at all. I know who he is in beat baseball, but like this dude agreed to come on my show the day I was apologizing to him. So I'm okay with my own reach. Thank you. So, but no, that was your mom that was kind of involved too, right?
Yeah.
Vivian. Yeah, that's another apology. I was first naming your mom. I didn't know she was your sister, cousin, whatever. I'm just like Vivian this and that. So man, I'm sorry. I first named your mom, dude. I apologize for that too. And I think we could go forward with no more apologies. Mikey, I speak terribly inappropriately to your wife all the time, and I'm not going to apologize for none of it, including the kissing emoji.
I was gonna say that you sent her a kissy emoji this week. So yeah, I saw it on our group text. Yep.
It's both funny about that and lame about my social life. That's the only time I've ever sent a woman a kissy emoji. So have you young gentlemen, Day and Dame, Daniel, are you guys familiar with the term throuple?
No.
All right. Well,
a threesome.
Look, no, I didn't go that far. Come on, man. I got a tiny bit of class. Don't take that away. Just throuple. Look up throuple. That's me, Mike and Nadine. Don't tell anybody that. Don't tell it. That's a big secret. Don't keep that between us, the four of us. Daniel, man, let's start with you. Whenever somebody's on the show the first time, we like to get some background. You were our 2022 Offensive Rookie of the Year, so congratulations for that. But man, you're like 30 years old. What's your story? How did it take you so long to bring yourself to beat baseball?
Well, so actually, funny story. Probably 4 years ago when I started working at the lighthouse. Well, I guess it was more whenever the buildings were combined.
Right.
There used to be two different buildings, but anyway, basically I kind of became friends with Brandon, and he was telling me about it, but I just never really paid much attention to it because I was kind of more focused on other things like work and stuff like that. And then finally, I was like, you know what? All right, let me check this out.
So it was Brandon Chesser that got you to try it first time?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I kind of he was trying to recruit me, for probably a year before I actually really started.
Listen, it took me like 3 years to get Mike Finn out to Beepball. Mike and I started talking, and he would start calling me about playing goalball together in like 1991. Man, I never drug him to a Beepball field till like 94.
Yep.
And look how it turned out.
Look how it turned out.
I actually just kind of started picking up goalball myself, actually.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that, because when we were trying to schedule this show, we almost recorded it Friday night, but you had goalball practice. I was going to ask you, so you're just getting involved in goalball. Is there do you have any other like sports background, other things you're involved with?
Not currently. I know there was.
Goalball and beepball's enough. I just try to get your all around background.
I grew up around baseball my whole life with my brothers and everything. I did t-ball for a little bit, like 2 years, give or take. But I know they had like a little blind soccer expo a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I wasn't able to make that, but I mean,
our boy Little Ricky's involved with that. Little me,
yeah. I like I said, I wasn't able to make it that weekend, but I mean, it seems cool. I would definitely check it out.
What about like your blindness? You've been blind your whole life?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was since birth. So
I played with the Dogs for like 17 straight years, but our team wasn't able to go in 94. I'm sorry, in 2004. And I played with Oklahoma that year. And some of the old players that had played with the original Fort Worth Roadrunners were on that team. And one of them, Sam McKenzie, Hall of Famer, great offensive player. We were sitting at breakfast one morning, and Frank Fazio was like, "So, Sam, you've been blind your whole life?" He's like, "Not yet." It's like, I thought that was the best answer ever for you've been blind your whole life. And even though I had sight till I was almost 11, like if anybody asked me that, even though it doesn't fit me, I'm like, "Not yet." It's too great an answer.
That's an awesome answer.
Totally agree. And last, real quick, since you mentioned your family and baseball, Tim Hibner tells me that you have a brother playing college baseball, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he plays down in Louisiana for the Raging Cajuns.
Awesome. Well, that's very cool. Wasn't he at this past World Series in Houston Beaumont? Sorry.
Yeah, he was able to make it. So that was pretty cool. He's always been wanting to check it out, but because of his own schedule and everything, just never worked out.
I gotta just imagine that. Put myself in your shoes, like playing in your first World Series and having your brother who loves baseball and plays baseball there, for the family around you. That had to have been pretty cool. And then to get Offensive Rookie of the Year to cap it all off, man. That's
right.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool experience overall.
All right, let's bring your partner Day Day in here, my boy Day Day. Hey, so Darius, man, what's your story? I know you haven't been around real long, and you're already one of the best like short left players in the game, man. What's your story? How'd you get here?
Kind of like, bro, like somebody had to. It took years of people trying to push me into coming to my first practice.
If you say Richie Flores was one of them, I won't stop the show.
Yeah, Richie was like the final.
So sick of Richie. Stupid Richie, man.
Richie was the final push. But before that, I went to the blind school with Zach Arambula, and he was always like, "Hey, you run fast. Come try this sport, this beat baseball." I was like, "Man, that sounds stupid. I'm not doing that. Why would I go throw myself on the ground? Like, we already playing goalball. That's ridiculous." So I was just like years of that. And then finally Richie was like, "Hey, I'll give you a ride." We were at some party. And I was like, I think like the buses stopped running or something. And Richie was like, "Hey, I'll give you a cab ride home if you show up to practice tomorrow." And
this dude, Richie, look at him. Man.
And I shook on it and I showed up to my first practice. And that was the weekend before the World Series in Georgia, like 2013, I think.
Okay. So you've been around longer than I give you credit for. Okay. You got a decade under your belt, man.
Yep, a whole 10 years.
Yeah, I had to laugh when you said you thought it was stupid, because like I never really learned about beat baseball till my senior year in high school. But back when I was in high school, the Bay Area here in the San Francisco area here in California had like anywhere between 4 and 6 teams in any given year. And at one point when I was like a freshman, my mom saw something like, a piece that they had done on TV, and it was on here in Sacramento. And she comes running in my room. She's like, Neil, there are blind people playing baseball on TV. And I never even got up. I'm like, that's stupid. That's just stupid. Why, I grew up playing baseball in the street, in the schoolyard. I never played little league or whatever, but I played baseball since I could swing a bat, and I was just picturing the game being played just like sighted baseball, and I was like, man, that's impossible. And then I finally shut my mouth and went to something and learned it literally as they're describing this World Series tournament. It's like, oh my God, how can I miss this? You know what I mean? So it's the best thing ever. So that was funny to me. So how long you been playing go ball? Longer than that then?
I think basically that 1 year that I was at the blind school is what I played, and then now, Coach Zach, he pushes me to try to, he pushes me to try to go to practice. Sometimes, like because my girlfriend Sada, he goes and he'll call me. He's like, "Why aren't you at practice?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I'm tired. I've been to work all day. Why don't you go to practice?" I'm like, "Fine, I'll be there. Let me get my shit on." So now I've kind of like off and on going to practice, like, I don't know, sometimes a week or like a month from that last practice or whatever, but it's pretty fun. So you get hurt.
Next time my boy Zach calls you bothering you, asking you that, your answer is because Neil Dog said I don't have to. You tell him that.
My mama said.
Have you jumped into any other things like adaptive sports wise? How long you been blind? All that same stuff?
It's kind of funny. So when we went to Argentina, I think we did have like a day set aside where we are gonna try to do some blind soccer, but it like rained like hard. Like it was like almost like hurricane rain that day. So we didn't get to go practice. And other than that, that's pretty much all. Is just go ball, beat ball, and
all right, that's enough.
If you consider wrestling adaptive, that's about
it.
I
don't. I mean, obviously, when blind people do it against sighted people, there's like the adaptive, I guess, start to it. But no, in the end, though, I do consider it part of your like sports background. So throw that in there. Like I swam competitively for like 8 years after I lost my eyesight, and none of it was. I didn't even know about like the Paralympics and stuff until after that or towards the end of it. And by then, I was just sick of swimming and learning about beep baseball. I started swimming competitively when I was 4 years old. So by the time I was 18, man, I was done. But I only competed against sighted people. So I'm kind of like with your wrestling. Or did you do that at the state school for the blind?
No, I actually went all the way through high school. Okay. I actually went when I went to the blind school. It was for like an exit program. Kind of like, once I graduated high school, they were like, yeah, learn some like blindness skills. You got this RP that you're gonna lose your vision at some point. So maybe it's a good idea to go like, hang out with some blind people, learn some Braille, learn how to use a cane, cook with blindfold, all that kind of stuff. And it was around then where I was like, oh, okay, go ball, it's fine. But before that, I didn't know anything. But never met another blind person in my life. I thought they were just like, I don't know, sad all the time or something. So I just didn't want nothing to do with it. I thought blind people were just like sitting there looking at the wall or something. I don't know.
We've literally all gone through like a portion of that, man. So it's all good. Hey, outside of like sports, getting ready for the show, look at your Facebook page. I see you're a radio junkie like myself.
Yeah.
In the biz. Tell us a little bit about that, man.
I was doing a lot of radio years ago, and it just got too hard, and it basically all figured out once I like moved out of town for a while. But it was so fun. I got to meet like some celebrities when I was working there and learning how to do a little production. So it was a real good like couple of years where I was just like kind of in that in that business.
Yeah, very cool. Well, since your experience, since my co-host isn't here tonight, if you see any flaws or if you see these chumps not answering questions, man, feel free to jump in and push them for me. You got freedom.
Find the
Mikey,
dumb
man.
button real quick.
Mikey, since we've been talking to these two, I'm curious. Like, you're a vet. You've been around forever. What you've been playing, I believe, with Day his entire career, and now with Brock to start his career. What's it been like for you? Kind of, when we played for the Dogs all those years, we almost never, until like Lex towards the end, we almost never had young players coming around us. Really, what's that been like for you?
Well, it's fun. So it's fun to watch the development and, because especially on, the defensive side of the ball, it's not something you pick up real fast. It's, it takes time to, get your bearings and get your timing down as to, when to get down on the ground and that sort of thing. Getting yourself in the right position isn't hard, but getting in down in the right time is like always difficult. So, but it's fun to see, the improvement and the more consistency. Darius is, been stepping up more and more over the years of, getting better at charging the ball and getting down within hand's reach of the ball and things like that. And, most of the time not doing the silly things like crawling to the ball and all those kind of stuff.
That's not a silly thing, Mikey. Where you and I come from, that is unforgivable. There's a great line from A League of Their Own. There's no crying in baseball, man. There's no crawling in beepball.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get more involved with the team going forward, and more from like a defensive coaching standpoint, if I could find the right fit. And man, that was rule number one. There's nobody crawling on my field. I'll tell you that.
Yep. Right. Nobody crawling to the ball and stuff like that.
Can't make a hustle play. Get your ass off my field.
Yeah. So, and Daniel's got a good ear for the ball. Obviously he's good at the plate, but defensively, he's got a great ear for the ball. And once he, gets, a little bit more repetition in to where he gets used to getting down at the right time, he'll be making plays like right, left, and center, no problem. So he's got great speed, he's got great control, and then obviously, he's got a good solid bat, good solid swing, and he's nice and fast down the baseline too. So it's fun to watch all of that and try to help, push and mold that into, a direction to where, both of them can, become, all-star players and as well as, make the Hall of Fame as well.
Very nice. Very nice. No, it's I don't know. I can only imagine that it's fun to be in the beginning and see the finished product, especially when they're both Daniel's having early success on offense, and Darius is certainly just by being ranked as one of the top 20 players in the nation now is obviously getting credit just for his all around game. So
Yep.
Had to have been fun to watch all that. So let's talk Blackhawks. You guys had a third place finish for the second year in a row. There is probably, as far as the rankings go, probably most controversy surrounding your team. I don't even know if Mikey knows any of this, fellas, because I don't think he's that into Beepball Nation, the group where baseball is most talked. But when the rankings came out and the Austin Blackhawks were number 10, boy, were people making comments. I took an earful from Chesser. I took an earful from Tim Hibner. So, since not that I was one of the voting members when the rankings came out, but I was one of the people putting out a ranking over the summer. So I'll take the heat for everybody, man. If you guys want to speak out on that, but otherwise, man, feel free to just talk about your team and the success this year.
Well, the Blackhawks definitely let me know fairly soon after that came out. And that sort of thing. So it wasn't a fact of, I didn't need to be following anybody to hear about it. It was like immediate out there. It's like, we got ranked 10th. What the hell's going on? So, but, in all reality, I just sat down with everybody, said, hey, well, use that as your motivation. It's like,
Right.
we know we're not supposed to be ranked 10th. So use it as your motivation to, be focused and to push yourself on the field and push yourself at practice and to better yourself so that, we just have that much more fun at the World Series, showing everybody that, no, we're not 10th. So
Yeah.
that's not, we have strategy going into other tournaments other than the World Series that may not play out to where we're going to finish as high as we possibly could. So sometimes we have strategies going into tournament where we put people in particular places to get them more experience so that in the future or at the World Series, they are better prepared for what we're going to expose them to.
True.
So, and that's how, things end up to where, we might end up finishing in different places than we might when we go to some of the smaller weekend tournaments.
Right.
So that's what it ends up, being all about. But yeah, we used it as motivation for, hey, we're gonna show everybody that, we're not anywhere remotely close to 10th. So going into the series, I thought we had a very good shot at, second or third and giving first place, a decent run for their money. So I was very happy with us coming in third place.
Darius, you got anything on that?
You
got some anger smackdown coming for me?
Like, he touched on every part of that. We give all of our other players a chance, like once we get to the series, a lot of the people on our team ain't gonna, we're gonna, like this past series, we played the Edge twice, we played the Jets twice, and a lot of our bench, they just basically waiting for that opportunity, and the best time for them to get it is in Chicago and Indiana, or sometimes we have tournaments here locally in Texas, but I guess the ranking committee just thought that we just fizzled, that we are just not good enough to be, third place again.
Well, I'll respond to that because I don't think it's totally that, because I was kind of there through all those committees. I'll respond to that in a minute. But first, Mr. Brock, I'll give you a chance. You want to jump in and throw some fuel to the fire?
I guess yeah, we just kind of took that 10th ranking as motivation to prove everyone wrong, I guess.
In the end, as you should. Mikey and I played together, I don't even know. Like 17 years.
Did you do 08? Is that what you did?
I was up through 09. We played together for 15 straight
15 years, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we never once went into a tournament. We got beat enough, but we never once went into a tournament thinking that we are going to lose. So
nope.
Who we had to play, when we had to play, like if you plan to play on Friday and Saturday of a 5-day tournament, you've got to play all the good teams anyway. So for me, it doesn't matter. It's nice to warm up, with some give-me's, if you will.
Yeah.
It's nice to get warmed up and roll into the later parts of the tournament. But man, you put a team in front of me and I'm just going to try to win that game. And it's that attitude that got us 7 championships in 17 years. So
the other big difference that we didn't have then that we have with the Blackhawks is we didn't have a bench. So, we took like a couple players with us, but most of the time we would go with like 9. And so, that's one nice thing with the Blackhawks is, we take, like 14, 15 people. And so, if we get up on a team or something like that, or we're in a little bit easier of a game, we can sub out a lot of people and people get some rest time, and it's, it's beautiful.
Right.
No.
So, because back then there was no rest time, played every single inning of every single game pretty much. And, might be able to get out for, an at bat or two. And that was about it.
And that ties into also what you guys have been saying about trying different things, even though you guys can get to the World Series with as many as 14 or 15 on your roster. You don't go to the regional tournament, or they're not even regional, but the smaller tournaments ahead of the World Series. You guys go to them with like 8 or 9 players.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And they're not from tournament to tournament, I've followed enough to know it's not even the same 8 or 9 players each time. So I know what you guys are saying. What you guys have said in defense of that is true. Like when I put out my first ranking back in June, I had Austin number 2, and people were on me about that. Like, what California product has he overdone it with? and I had the Boston Renegades number 3, and my philosophy behind all that was that, we don't need to walk through all of it, but all the teams, the Jets, the Thunder, so many of the Heat, so many of the teams that finished high. I guess the Heat didn't finish high, but out of the teams that finished high a year ago, most of them underwent a lot of change, and only for some of them was it for the better. So like it was hard to really put teams to rank teams early on because there were so many unanswered questions. But I put Austin up high because I figured the team, you and the Boston Renegades, your team and the Renegades, were the 2 that had the most experience, in my opinion, and would take the most advantage of those opportunities of all the other teams that went through so much change last year. It was crazy last year. Nothing anybody's ever seen in Beepball.
Yeah, there was a huge shuffle.
Unbelievable. By this time a year ago, like 20 people have jumped ship and gone to new teams, man. And like 10 of them all went to the edge. But by my final ranking right before the World Series, I too had you guys at number 10. And it wasn't because I all of a sudden thought you guys sucked. But the reality is, going into the World Series, you guys had lost like 6 games in a row. And though we could say because this, that, whatever, ranking other teams that were winning games ahead of you behind you, it would also be unfair. Like teams that were out there showing a stronger product at the time had to be given credit for that. And like Tim got all over me. He's like, man, we did this, that, and the other, and nobody knows that. Nobody on the ranking committee knew this. It's like, Tim, we all knew it. I went to every ranking committee except one. I only missed one of the 6, the very first one. John O, your coach, was there at every single one telling us we played this person, this player pitched. Like nobody was oblivious to what you guys were doing, but at some point the wins or losses on the field have to count, and even if not so much holding your losses against you, but other teams earning wins got to receive credit for that, in my opinion. So I didn't stop believing in you guys, but I couldn't put you number 2 or 3 after 6 straight losses. Then they attacked me and my California products again, man. So but before we wrap up on your Hawks and go on to the All-Star stuff, so going into next year, man, where are you guys at? How are you guys feeling about coming off 2 third-place finishes and launching into 2023? I'll go with you first, Mikey.
All right, I'm feeling really good.
Dave snuck in there.
Daniel's only going to be that much more improved.
Yeah, nothing beats getting the experience.
Oh yeah, he got a load of experience in Beaumont, and so gonna get a whole bunch more this year. So offensively, he's just gonna be so much more effective because he's got the confidence, and defensively he's gonna be better, and the whole team is already planning and working hard for next year and getting ready and things like that. So that shows as well when they were just in Tyler. What was that, last weekend?
Oh, yeah. The great, I'm so sorry. I totally missed mentioning. I meant to do that at the top, that you guys just played in the Great Texas Shootout, which isn't just a beat baseball tournament. It's a tournament that also recognizes blindness awareness, and they have a whole thing for breast cancer survival and awareness. Man, I love that tournament. I'm actually I'm going to be writing an article for the public relations department coming up, and I plan to include that. But I meant to give you congratulations. You guys won that tournament. Since Mikey's been going, man, Daniel, tell us a little bit about the tournament last weekend.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The fields weren't the greatest.
Yeah.
But isn't it? I mean, I've always heard this is more like of an offensive tournament,
Yeah.
really, because of the. Oh, you probably never played at that tournament before, right, Daniel, or had you?
Well, I played last year
Oh,
as
okay.
well, but yeah, definitely not a field you want to lay out on.
Yeah, it's like what is it, Mikey? Is it turf of some sort?
I don't know. I haven't gone
Oh,
to
you
it,
weren't
but I
out
know
there.
it's
Okay.
yeah. Everybody
Football.
says that it's just hard as
It's true.
hell, and
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
You
It's
say
like,
yes to the turf,
yeah,
Darius?
it's like a
All
turf football field.
So I have like scabs on each of my arms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
That is the only time my rule of not crawling is. You can forget that rule.
Is
You
allowed.
don't even have to get on the ground if you don't want to. Let's
No, I
Stay
just
on your feet.
let's just outscore the other fools.
Hands for them.
Yeah, no, shout out to I've had Larry and Rosie Reed on the show talking about that tournament, and like I said, I'll be writing about it as well. That's a great tournament. The little balloon thing, Daniel, Darius, you guys love that, I
Oh,
do, letting the balloons go as a
yep.
tribute. Yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah.
That's
Made
awesome. Yeah.
me tear up a little bit when they told me about that. That's good stuff. I'm kind of a little baby when it comes to stuff like that. I'll be honest. Mikey knows. Mikey see me cry so many. I bet Mike's seen me cry more than he's ever seen his wife or child cry. No point in hiding it.
We won again.
Oh man.
So let's go ahead and talk about the All-Star Showcase weekend that's coming up, because all three of you are going to be participating in that. Congratulations for that. It's the first time. We're almost 50 years into the history of our Beat Baseball World Series, and even though there's always been all defensive teams and all offensive teams, it's just like you're just named to that team. It's an honor, but there's never been any kind of a game of any kind, and not that this is being done independently, so it's separate of all the all-star stuff from this past World Series. But I was part of the selection committee, and we all were focused on getting this year's best players. I mean, that was the goal of our focus. That was my focus anyways. So congratulations to all three of you for having good enough years to make it. Mikey, I'll start with you, because you're 28 years in now. You're a Hall of Famer, but dude, you're still one of the you were finished in the top 15 in total rankings this year as a player, which is impressive. But what's it like for you to get to go out and try this first ever All-Star Weekend showcase?
Well, I think it's just going to be fun, and get everybody together. Even away from the World Series, because even that's just the fun part is getting all the players together to hang out and go play a little ball and tell stories and get the ball in play, run to base. Just kind of all the fun part of playing with other people, and having it a little bit away from the World Series. It's just kind of fun. It just kind of motivates you for the whole next year. But I think it's a good little idea. I hope it continues, because I think it can also motivate people to push themselves a little bit more. And that's kind of always the thing. You're always looking for little things to drive you a little harder to play an extra 15 minutes out on the field, or try a little bit harder for that really hard grounder, or whatever it might be that you're pushing yourself to be a little bit better, so that maybe you can get invited out to the All-Star weekend as well. So I think it's like really cool and a good both motivational tool and fun tool, and I really look forward to it, and happy to be and proud to be representing Beat Baseball as one of the top players in the league.
You hit on something completely accurately too, from my standpoint, having been on the committee, so players knew I was involved in having some conversations. I more than one player was like, man, I want to be part of this next year. You know what I mean? I didn't get any pushback like, you guys missed me, I should be on there now. It's like, man, I'm going to be working to be part of that next year. It just, and I mean, I feel the same thing, even though I haven't played since 09.
Right.
I mean, I know when I was in my heyday, I would have had a shot at making this, and if I didn't, I would have gone into the next season with a chip on my shoulder to try it.
Right. Yeah.
It'd just be an honor to be part of it, but fun too. I'll tell you though, when Seth and I first heard kind of the format, like you guys playing 3 games, it's like, man, you guys realize how much party time you're missing out on playing the game? Play 1 game, party for 2 days, you dummy. It's a showcase, not a tournament.
Yeah, well, who knows how hard we're really going to be playing and all that kind of stuff too. So, but I think it's going to be a lot of just fun and I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of seriousness too, but at the same time, I think it's going to be a lot of having fun.
Yeah, no, definitely. Nobody tell my health and fitness guru I said that about all that partying though. Hey, Dave, what about you, man? You being chosen to be one of those players, getting to go be part of it. What's that like for you?
First off, I want to say I think I got really lucky in Chicago, and I think me getting 32 putouts, I think that helped a lot with the selection. And I'm just like, dang, I get to be a part of something that's never happened before, something that Mike's been around forever, and he's never even gotten to be on an all-star team. So like, it's so cool to be a part of that. And I can't wait. And I'm just sitting here like every day, like, oh my God, another message from the all-star group. Now I'm like back in the mode of wishing it was tomorrow. So, I just can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, what I told you to tell Zach about gold ball, don't try that with this all-star thing. Do not follow that advice there. What about you, Daniel, man? Like I think it's really cool that you and our defensive rookie of the year, Casey Krause, both of you are going to be part of it. I think that's totally cool. How was it for you to find out you're going to be part of things?
When I first started this year and kind of going into World Series, I didn't really know what to expect. I just kind of was going into it like just wanted to going out there and have fun, but with being able to get opportunities with the team and stuff like that to showcase my talent, it gave me a chance to put my name out there for sure.
Obviously you took advantage of it, so good on you, man. Good on you. Keep it up. Go out there, have a big weekend. I picked you on my fantasy team, you and Mike both. So somebody kicked Darius in the ankle on Friday afternoon. I think you're on.
He hasn't hurt himself already.
I think you're on Richie's team, but Daniel and Mikey, man, I got both you guys, so I need big numbers. Don't let me down. I'm not forgiving.
And I did want to say that which tournament was like the first tournament of this year, and I was like, hey, Brock, I don't know if you noticed or not, but you're gonna be rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Like the first tournament, I was like, if you keep batting like that, just don't worry about it. You're gonna be rookie.
Did you guys play before Chicago? You went to Chicago and to the Thunder Bonanza, right? Now that I think about it.
Yeah, went to both.
Yeah, that's crazy. That 2 weeks in a row. That's impressive on you, Mike, to make all that travel, but for your whole team to make both those tournaments, that's not an easy trip. Go back.
It was better. It was better in 19 because in 19 I took Chase with me. We went to Indy, and then Chase and I just bounced over to Ohio and we played over at Kings Island Amusement Park all week, and then we bounced over to Chicago and then played in that tournament.
Oh, that's very cool. I've never been able to, since Chase is so young, I never got to experience a tournament with him. How's he like it?
He likes it a lot. He's thinking about coming to the All-Star weekend, so he hasn't guaranteed whether he's doing it or not yet, but he's thinking about coming to the All-Star weekend. So
nice.
Am I hearing that it's possible that Nadine could be alone for an entire weekend?
Well, I guess so. The other thing is you could.
Let me grab my phone. There are some kissy lips coming.
Normally if we both go away, she typically like has a girls' party. So you really might want to crash the house. You never know.
You got that freaking right. Oh man. No Mikey around. Tell us that eating more than one brownie is too much. Well, fellas, any of you got anything else you want to throw on before I let you? I did mean to ask you at the beginning, Daniel and Darius, are you guys Dallas Cowboy fans?
No.
No.
Daniel?
No, sir.
All right, good. I was worried, a little bit worried. I mean, I'm selfish, so I wasn't terribly worried, but I was a tiny bit worried that I was taking you away from the Sunday night football game.
Oh no,
that's fine.
I'm glad you don't waste your time with bad football.
Hopefully the Eagles are running it up, man.
Well, I appreciate you guys, man. This was fun. I enjoyed getting to know you better, Daniel and Darius both. Mike, you do. I love you like family, so I always enjoy getting to go back and forth with you.
Oh yeah, right back there at you, man.
I'll be in touch, guys. Still need to get an answer about that free stuff. Get all that straightened out, put you on pressure, do it right out here in front of tens and tens of people. I have no idea what we're talking about.
Tens and tens.
What's the other thing I wanted to ask you about along those lines? Dang it, I've already forgot. I had another thought when I asked about the free stuff, but I guess I just got to let it go because I can't remember what it was, Mike. Oh, I was going to promote. I knew it had something to do with me and Mikey, and not Nadine this time, and I was lost for a thought. All right, I'm sorry. I'll try to stop trying. But Mikey and I are going to be involved with an event, an MBBA event, the National Beep Baseball Association Public Relations Committee is hosting putting on a presentation, a panel that's going to take place later this month on Saturday, October 29th at 4:00 Eastern, 1:00 Pacific. I'm honored to have been asked to host this. Don't you wish, Day, that I would have learned how to talk before getting on a microphone? But it's a privilege that Richie in the PR department asked if I could play host for this. So the month of October is Blindness Awareness Month. And so even though it's going to involve all Beep Baseball people, this is going to be bigger than Beep Baseball. Our panel is going to have Crystal Malero. Did I say her name right, guys?
Yep.
Excellent. We're going to have Crystal Malero on, and she's going to be covering the rehab and like adaptation, transition area of things. Mikey's going to be on with us to share the importance of health and fitness, especially for us after we've lost our sight, the importance of staying connected and being active. And then we're also going to have Nestor Gonzalez, who you guys, I believe, just played with this last weekend, he and his son. Nestor is the father of a blind teenage son, and he's going to be given a parent's perspective. And we're just going to try to have a little educational, productive talk, which is surprising because I'll be involved, but still, we're going to give it our best effort. So be looking for that coming up in a little less than 2 weeks. And that's it for tonight, guys. I totally appreciate you jumping in and helping me out with this episode.
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Same.
I thought I was all smooth. I'd be able to end the stream, but I forgot I'm not in the right screen to do so. I should have done this earlier. I now have to go look for it. So Darius has even one more reason to criticize my lack of professionalism. I'm almost there, guys.
And it's the weekend. It's tabs.
More meeting control. There we go. Oh, boot. Oh, I hit stop video, I think.
Your video's still on.
Yeah, we're still going. All right, stop live stream. All right, sorry about that. I should have prepared that before the end. But I doubt anybody's made it this far, so we're good. Thank you, fellas. I don't know exactly what we'll be doing next week, everybody. I'm hoping it involves Demetrius Morrow. Shout out Demo. Counting on you to be on next week, so I'll follow up on that. We'll have Bam Bam back.